All right. We are live. How's it going, Ben?
How you doing today?
Good. Let's see. So before we get started, let me make sure everything's working here on on our socials. Make sure everybody can see us. Ben, would you mind checking real quick that maybe it's on Facebook, but let me hurry and just make sure it's live, make sure people can see and everything. It should be live. I feel confident here. Yep, we're live on X, as everybody says, formerly known as Twitter. But we're live, so welcome. First off, we are Accuplan Benefit Services. We have been doing self-directed IRAs for a long time, and that's what we're going to be discussing today is self-directed IRAs. I'm Nick Barker, the host, if you will, for today, but no more important than Ben here, who's also joining us. We have been with the company for quite a long time. Ben, even much longer than I myself. But our plan today is to walk you through everything you need to know about self-directed IRAs. So throughout any of this live, if you have questions about what we do, what separates us, or more specifically about self-directed IRAs, what you can invest in, any of those questions, ask us those, and we will specifically at the end, we'll set aside some time to make sure we go over each of your guys' questions. But starting off first, Ben, again, thanks for being here. We're planning on doing these monthly. So if you missed today, come back next month. We'll be talking about something a little bit differently, but still pertaining to investing with your self-directed IRA. How's it going, Ben?
Good. It's good to be here. I'm excited for these webinars or these little podcasts, and hopefully people learn things and we can grow it as it gets bigger.
Awesome. Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's just kind of jump into it. So, some people may be here wondering what a self-directed IRA, what a self-directed IRA is. Ben, why don't you explain to all the viewers what is a self-directed IRA?
That's a good question. So the term self-directed IRA is a term that we use in this industry to describe retirement accounts where you have self-directed control. If you think of a normal IRA, like if you set up an IRA with a Fidelity or a Charles Schwab, you set up the IRA account and then you are limited by the choices that they give you. Most custodians allow you to do stocks, bonds, mutual funds. With a self-directed IRA, though, you can have a lot more flexibility with the type of investments. You're not limited to stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. You're able to do a lot more things than you would if you were just doing an IRA with one of those companies.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, this traditional is stocks and bonds, mutual funds. That's really what everybody thinks is your retirement investment options. I mean, I think that's what the majority of people think, but there's so much more available to everybody. And that's, kind of what leads us to the next question here is like, what are some of those other investment ideas that people are doing inside of self-directed IRAs? What are you seeing there? And maybe some of those ideas that can spur in other people's minds, but what are the common investments in self-directed IRAs?
Yeah, you'll find with a self-directed IRA, a lot of people want to invest in physical assets. So stocks and bonds are great, but they're more like a paper asset. A lot of our clients invest in real estate or real estate related products. So they're buying a rental property, they're buying commercial property, they're buying raw land, or they're doing tax liens or tax deeds. Another thing you can do in real estate is you can be the bank. So let's say you had someone that needed $50,000 of startup capital to fix up a property that they were going to rent. So you could be a hard money lender and you can lend money to that person. But in addition to just real estate, the list is much longer than that. A lot of our clients invest in privately held stock. So a friend starting a business needs some startup capital. You found this great new business idea that you think is going to make a lot of money. You want your IRA to own it. you can invest in private stock before it goes public. Some of the other things that people do is they do physical gold and silver. So we buy gold and silver for clients. We physically store the metals for those clients. We insure those metals. This is not an ETF. It's not like a paper gold. It is physical storage of the metals. And then a couple other things, oil and gas, cryptocurrency is becoming more popular. So Bitcoin and a lot of those other coins that you can invest in. Those are primarily the investments that our clients invest in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it gives you so many more options. Now, the cool thing is, like you mentioned, like if new investment, vehicles come about, like for instance, cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency wasn't here 20 years ago or whatever, but it's now here. Well, as long as you're following the rules and doing what you should be, investing how you should be investing, you can, if there's new types of investments that come about, like crypto, hey, it's fair game in a self-directed IRA. Now, of course, though, like having a self-directed IRA isn't always like perfect either. It's not 100% easy on your side because self-directed means specific things that were that kind of leads to this next question. What are some of those? If there's somebody out there who's thinking, well, God, this sounds great. I totally want to do it. Like, I'm going to set up an account with Accuplan and I'll reach out to them and they'll invest whatever I need them to invest for me, whatever. The reality is there are some disadvantages to a self-directed IRA. Very few, but there's some. Now, Ben, what are some of those disadvantages that you can think of, as far as you just got to be aware that if you're doing a self-directed IRA, here's some things that could be a disadvantage if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, it's a great question. So some of the disadvantages, I don't always recommend a self-directed IRA for someone who's in their 70s or someone who's close to retirement age. Part of that reason is that you are investing in a physical asset. So let's say you invested in a real estate deal and you turn 72 and you have to start taking distributions. Are you getting enough income off of that rental property to pay your distribution? So with physical assets, it means you can't just sell the asset today or tomorrow. It takes some time. Now, if you invested in cryptocurrency or you invested in gold and silver, obviously those are much easier to sell. So I would definitely recommend someone that's in their 70s, 80s to maybe invest in crypto or precious metals. But those are definite disadvantages. Another disadvantage potentially is that you are self-directing your account. Because you're self-directing your account, you are ultimately making the decision on what you invest in. So if you invested in a startup company with one of your friends, what happens if that startup company goes out of business? So there can be high risks with the self-directed IRA. There can also be some high rewards depending on what you invest in. There are more traditional type of investments such as real estate and metals that maybe are not as risky, but you do need to be aware of the rules and the procedures. And that's one thing that we do at Accuplan is we can help educate you on those rules and procedures.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, another thought I have, it's like, look, I mean, I don't have the data right in front of me at this moment, but I've seen studies that say, look, the more involved you are with your investing, the more you take ownership of it over it. A lot of times, the higher likelihood of it doing better it is. So, there's the idea of somebody else is investing my money in what they tell me to invest in. The thing here with the self-directed IRA, you're telling us what you're investing in. You're making those choices. So if you're not sure what you want to invest in with the self-directed IRA yet, then start now by doing the process of figuring out what you like. Like if you know that, oh, I'm a real estate agent, I like real estate, I know real estate, then that's a no-brainer. Like move into real estate, find a way to invest in real estate with your self-directed IRA. If you've always wanted to do crypto or those kind of things, learn about it and then figure out how to do it. Like if the thing here is you're taking the control. We're not going to tell you what to invest in. Yes, we'll tell you what other people are doing, what the most common things, what the most common investments are, but it's your choice. You find the property. Once you know what you're going to invest in, then you got to find the property and do all that side of things. But as Ben mentioned, that's where we come in to help make sure that those disadvantages, as far as you having to take ownership, we can help if you're ever, let's say, like just worried about you're doing something incorrectly or not sure if it's something you can invest in, which kind of leads us to there are rules, right? There are rules to investing with retirement accounts. So let's dive into some of the most common rules that everybody needs to be aware of when investing with a retirement account. Ben, what are those rules?
Yeah. So with the self-directed IRA and some of the rules, the IRS has not necessarily limited you on assets, meaning they don't say you cannot invest in stocks, you cannot invest in bonds, you cannot invest in real estate. The rules have been primarily related to a prohibited transaction. You cannot enter into a prohibited transaction with your retirement account. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can enter into a prohibited transaction. The first is you cannot invest with a related party. A related party would be yourself, your parents, your grandchildren, your children, up and down the food chain. Brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, aunts, uncles, they are not automatically disqualified, but parents and children, grandparents, children are all disqualified. What does that mean? What that means is you cannot enter into a transaction with someone who is a related party. So, for example, let's say your dad or your mom has a property and they want to sell the property to you. You would not be able to buy that property in your IRA because you would be doing a transaction with your dad or your mom. Another thing to be careful or cautious of is there cannot be a direct benefit given or received between you and a related party. And this is a little harder to consult on, but let me give you an example. You bought a rental property in a college town where your son or your daughter is going to school, and you want to use your IRA to buy the property, which you can do if a related party does not own the property. But then you want to rent that property to your son or your daughter. That would be disqualified because you would be giving a benefit to one of your family members. So as long as you're entering into a transaction without a related party and a person that is related to you is not giving a benefit or receiving a benefit. Another example would be your son needs money for college. He needs $10,000 to go to college. Your IRA could not loan him $10,000. It could loan someone else non-related to him, but it could not loan him $10,000. And the last thing that you need to be aware of is there are some potential tax implications if you decide to get a loan in your IRA or if you decide to run a business. There's what's called UBTI tax and UDFI tax. And I won't get into that in this discussion because that could be a whole session of just learning about UBIT and UDFI. But the point is that you got to be aware there can be some tax implications. So where we come in the picture is helping you answer those questions and make sure you follow those rules.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the key here. As I mean, like you said, there's even more specific rules pertaining to maybe the taxes. You mentioned UBIT, UDFI. Those, yes, there's still rules that you're going to need to follow, but guys, it can seem overwhelming. We are here to not make it seem overwhelming for you. If at any time you're not sure about the rules of what you're investing in, can I do this? Can I buy a property, right? Like a second home with my retirement accounts? Can I buy that vacation property and use it? Well, we will help answer those questions. Ben, how long have you been doing this with Accuplan?
I've been with Accuplan since 2003, so a little over
Okay.
20 years. So I've got a lot of experience and knowledge, and that's where, like Nick mentioned, I'm not a CPA. I'll tell you right now, I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm not your tax accountant. I'm not your financial advisor. So I'm not going to fill those roles as far as that goes. But in being with the company for 20 years, I've heard almost every scenario that someone wants to do in their IRA account. So if you call us up and say, I wanted to buy a property, but here's the situation. My son-in-law owns it. My brother owns it. Can I do it? Or I want to buy a property and I need to get financing. How do I get financing? We will provide the education that you need to say, yes, you can do it. No, you can't do it. And then we'll leave it up to you to say, I feel comfortable with this investment. I want to do it. And you will proceed forth if you wanted to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you said, we're not the tax consultant, but we do have a lot of knowledge. And so we can help guide you. Now, that's really one of the main reasons why I would say choose Accuplan for your self-directed is because we have a team here that really has been around for quite a while. We don't, most of the employees at Accuplan aren't here for 6 months and then move on. Uh, I feel like I myself am probably maybe one of the middle tier as far as how long I've been here, but I've been here 10 years. And so, over almost 11 years. And I'm one of the youngest, it feels like, as far as time in this company. And so uh, we've been here and we can help. Ben, though, tell us what are some of the other reasons besides just our super in-depth knowledge and how we can help. What are the other reasons why some of the, these viewers or clients should look to choose us?
Yeah, besides our knowledge and expertise, one of the things that we do is we do consult with you. You will find some custodians, financial advisors that, one, they don't have the knowledge and expertise that we have, and two, even if they have the knowledge and expertise, they are concerned with providing a support. We provide education. That's the way that I pitch when I'm talking to a client, as I'm providing education and telling you what you can do, how you can do it, who you can do it with, but then saying, leaving you up with the ultimate decision. Besides that, our pricing is very competitive. We'll talk about pricing, I know, in a minute, but we're very, very, very competitive on our pricing, and our platform and the way that you set up an account is very simple and easy to use. So we make the process as easy and as quick as possible. We are among the fastest in the industry for creating an account, for getting it funded, for moving funds around. There's very few out there that can beat us.
Yeah. So look, at the end of the day, to some degree, self-directed IRA companies are kind of like a bank in the sense that uh, there's a lot of us around. You can go and look around, but I feel confident in saying uh, there aren't a ton that have the time in like we do at Accuplan. So, excuse me, we know what clients are looking for in in service that they need, in education they need, and even as simple as like the platform that they need. What are Once you log into your account, what that looks like. We are constantly innovating and improving that back end so that it's easier and more efficient for you guys to select your investments, direct them and do all the different things that you need to do with a self-directed IRA account. So, um, you know, we are here for you, but we have the time in. That's what I would say as far as why choose us. Now, to that point, though, part of the process too is opening an account, and we know that we've all done this before. When you go to try to open an account somewhere and it's a huge, lengthy process, you know, takes hours or days, it can be annoying. So we have tried to, and we have done this, but over the years, because we've been doing this so long, we've made that better and better. Ben, tell us how any people that are looking to set up an account with us, how can they do that?
The process is very simple. We've automated everything. So the first step would be to go to accuplan.net. And all over the whole page, you'll see different places that you can sign up. You'll click the sign up link. We'll need to know your name, your address, your social, your date of birth. And that is about all of the information that we need at that time. You will need to upload your driver's license. And there are two ways that you can do that. If you already have your driver's license on your computer, you can just download and upload it to the website. If you don't have access to your computer or to your photo IDs. We've partnered with a company where you can take a picture with your phone. So you'll get a link to your phone, you'll take a picture with your phone, and that will automatically be uploaded. The whole process takes no more than 5 minutes. The onboarding will be done immediately, meaning you'll be approved immediately. You'll get your account number immediately. Once the account's created, the next step would be to request money from your existing custodian. What this involves is filling out a transfer request form. You will fill the transfer request form. You'll upload it to your account online. So we want to make this process as fast as possible. We do not need a physical copy mailed to us. We don't need you to fax us the document. You can upload it right online. And then we will either fax, email, or mail that transfer form to your existing custodian. The whole process time, setting up the account, is 5 minutes. It does take about 1 to 2 weeks to get the money out of your current custodian. The reason why it takes some time is we are relying on your other custodian, whether it's Fidelity, Schwab, E-Trade, to send us the money. If they can send us the money tomorrow, then you can be ready to go tomorrow with funding and investment.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, having the account set up and, under your name and ready to go is really quick. Some of those other steps, as far as you mentioned, being ready to actually fund and invest, it does take a little bit more time. But I just want to throw out there again, if you have any comments or questions about literally anything that we've talked about today, your specific scenario, if an investment is possible, shoot us a question. We probably have 2 more minutes before we get to the Q&As. So send us your questions. If not, again, not a big deal. We will be here again in a month. So feel free to jump back on, but you can always call us. Ben, do you have the best number to reach us at if they need to call us or if they want to, speak one-on-one?
Yeah, if they're wanting a more of a one-on-one with me individually, I have a direct line. The direct line is 801-683-9291. I'll repeat that, 801-683-9291. You can text me from that phone number as well. Or if you want, you can email me. My email is Ben, B-E-N, at Accuplan.net. Accuplan is spelled ACCUPLAN.net.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Now, we haven't talked about this yet, but for a lot of people, it's probably like, okay, well, how much does this cost me? Like currently at the custodian they may be at, it's 2% as far as, how much they have invested. If they have $10 invested, 2% is, any idea? 20 cents? Is that right? Am I right? So, okay. So that doesn't seem like a lot, but let's say if it's $2 million or if it's $1 million, right? Then we're talking like at least $10,000, right? And so point being is there's a lot of different ways that retirement companies charge. And one, we thought we'd make it super simple. And I still have Ben's number on the screen. Feel free to call that number. Call it right now. See if he answers. No. But we have a super simple way of doing it. And to me, it's a no-brainer. But tell us about the pricing here, and I'll throw that on the screen, actually.
So we try to make the process as simple as possible. We charge a flat annual fee of $349 per year with a $50 setup fee. We don't charge you a percentage of assets. So if you had $1 million, we don't charge you a 1 to 2% management fee. You mentioned this earlier, Nick, but when you have a financial advisor involved, you should be more in control of your finances and you should be seeing what they're doing. Financial advisors will charge you 1 to 2%. And on a small scale, it's not as big of a deal. On a larger scale, then that can eat up some of your profits. We charge a flat base fee. The reason why we charge a flat base fee is, one, again, I'm not your financial advisor, so I'm not securities licensed. I'm not going to tell you these stocks and bonds. And we want to make it as easy for you to set up an account. We also don't charge you for however many assets you have. Some other custodians will say, if you have 3 assets with us, we're going to charge you an extra $100, $200 per asset. Ours is a flat-based fee. So you don't need to worry about, am I going to have extra charges if I bring more money over? Am I going to have extra charges if I have multiple assets? The only other fees that are not showing up on the screen is we do have a wire in fee or a wire out. It's $33 to do a wire in or a wire out, but that fee is optional. If you send us a check, then of course you're not going to have a wire fee. The wire fees only applies if you want the money moved fast, which I typically recommend. There could be a wire fee.
Yeah, I will say, and this is not something that we hide. I feel like a lot of people hide, but um, there there are a lot of hidden fees. Not necessarily with Accuplan. We have a list, our fee schedule list that talks about everything that you get charged for, because a lot of times there are a little bit more fees than just the 349. And what I mean is, uh, if you have to do a wire or something, right? There might be a wire charge. Um, and the thing is that a lot of those fees are, well, one, we charge them because we kind of have to. We get charged a lot of fees as well from the banks and doing those types of transactions. Um, but those are very, very small compared to the account fees. And so we have a list of like, if you want to know every single thing that you would be charged if you're doing tons of wires all the time, then we have that. I don't remember off the top of my head what the fee is for a wire, but I don't know if you remember either, Ben. But
$33.
okay,
Yeah.
$33. But my point is it's $349. If you invest in one or two things and you have it sitting there, that's what you can expect. $349 a year. So yeah, that's what sets us apart. I know we're not the cheapest on the block, but I know for sure we're competitive. Uh, and part of that reasoning is because we have this knowledge. Like I said, we've all been here for quite a while. So it's with time in, there's some real knowledge that comes. So take that for what it's worth. But all right, now's the time where we jump into Q's and A's, see if anybody's made any comments. And if there's no questions, then we can end here. But let me look at the questions. Okay. Oh, I have a comment. We have a comment. Let's show that here. It's not really a question, but we can show that. Let's see. So Men's Santa says, I had a CFP help manage my IRA at TD Ameritrade, which earned nothing, 10% for years. I moved to Accuplan a year ago, and invested in crypto and doubled my money. I can't wait to retire. Thanks. Okay. I actually didn't realize that was actually, if you will, a beneficial review. So thanks for that. But that's true though. Like, there are a lot of times when people have their investment or their retirement investment accounts with people and they have no idea what's happening. And shoot, it's like, what have I been doing for 20 years? What have I been doing for 30 years? I just trusted that person. And that's not necessarily bad to do that. But what I'm suggesting is be a little bit more involved. And if you are more involved, you're likely only going to help the potential of your retirement nest egg, if you will, to be bigger by the time you actually need it. And here from Men's, it sounds like, look, they were able, only a year ago, they were able to double it with doing crypto. And I will say, we didn't talk about this at all. We have really a cool crypto product. And by that, I mean, with our account, you set up an account with us, you want to invest in crypto. That is something you can just do straight through the back end inside your account. You get into your account, you can buy and sell. You can do it daily. You can do it hourly. It's super simple and easy. So if crypto is your thing, man, doing it with us with your retirement account is very easy. So anyways, thanks, Men's. Oh, it looks like they responded again. Here's a comment. Let's see. Oops. It's actually not letting me.
And then while you're doing
Okay,
that,
this
Nick,
got it.
like you mentioned,
Yeah.
cryptocurrency has been difficult in the past. You have to create your own wallet. You have to create your own offsite storage place. You got to
Yeah.
find a trading platform. As you mentioned, trading crypto with us is just like trading stocks and bonds. In 3 clicks, you could be purchasing metals. It's that easy.
Okay. Yeah, it's cool. So they actually do have a question. They said I purchased crypto on margin and can't do that through Accuplan. Is there a way to pull funds to invest and then return the funds or principal? Do you know that?
So yeah, I know we're working on some things with crypto to make it even more sexy. Not just buying and selling, being able to uh, buy at certain times when it hits certain levels.
Okay.
I don't know where they're at in the process of allowing you to do more than just purchasing, buying, and selling. But I know that's on our radar. That's something we're interested in. You mentioned
Yeah.
you can always sell the crypto now. So like, let's say you invested $100,000 and it's now worth $200,000. You could go and sell $100,000 worth of crypto to take out your principal, keep $100,000 and let it ride and
Yeah.
see where it goes. So you can do that, but it's not like it would be more of a manual process. It's not
Yeah.
like you put some criteria in and we follow that criteria. We're not set up there. We're probably not too far out from that as well,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like those kind of things, right? Like, can you buy it on margin? Well, maybe not now, but like you said, there's a big chance that you will be able to in the near future. So thanks for that question. And actually that's all the questions we have or comments. So um, what I would say is I mentioned this earlier. We are going to be here once a month and here to answer questions, here to discuss all versions of uh, self-directed IRA investing. And so throughout the process, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We just got a question in. Are withdrawals tax free?
Good question. It depends on the type of IRA you have. If you have a traditional IRA, that's what's called a pre-tax IRA. What a pre-tax IRA is an IRA that you have not paid taxes on. So let me give you an example. You make $100,000 this year, and put $5,000 into a traditional IRA. You only show the IRS that you made $95,000. You get to deduct $5,000. That $5,000 goes into an IRA and it grows tax deferred. So $5,000, let's say when you retire, is now worth $50,000. When you take that money out, that is when you'll pay the taxes. But you're only going to pay the taxes on what you take out. So if you took out of the $50,000, you took out $5,000, you're going to be taxed on $5,000. Another type of retirement account that people invest in is what's called a Roth IRA. A Roth IRA is a tax-free IRA, which means you pay the taxes now, you don't pay the taxes in the future. So same example, you make $100,000 this year, you contributed $5,000 to a Roth IRA, you will show the government that you made $100,000. So you're not going to show any tax benefits today.
Yeah.
But that $5,000 that grows to $50,000 will be tax free. You will never have to pay taxes on that money when you take it out because you paid the taxes when you went in with the investment.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Thanks, Dave, for the question. That's where you kind of have to weigh, a lot of people probably start out with traditionals and eventually they roll them into Roths is kind of what happens a lot of times, but you kind of have to weigh what makes the most sense for you. So, but yeah, the great questions. I'll end it with this. Ben, do you have any you know, last minute things that you want to mention or say to anybody as far as you know, why Accuplan, what about self-directed IRA investing? Any other thoughts? If not, not a big deal, but throwing you on the spot there.
No,
But
I mean, no, I mean, I think we've covered a lot of the things that the most common questions that people ask. That where I think we can go to these next webinars, these next podcasts, is that more of the specifics, like how do I
yeah,
invest in crypto? How do I invest in real estate? What
exactly.
about precious metals? What's great about precious metals? And those are some of those ones where I think you'll even get some more education about the benefits and the features that you can really maximize in a self-directed IRA. And again, if you've got a question, concern, you want to set up an account, then we'll be here to answer those questions and help you set up the account from the entire process. My position, I am a salesman for Accuplan, so I will be your point of contact. So if you have a question ever, like what's going on, where's my funds, how do I get my funds out, I'll be a specific point of contact, which is one thing I think that we do that's different than some of the other competitors. Some of our other competitors, if you want to have a question, you have to call the support line. You wait on hold for half an hour, and then you answer a question from someone that you've not talked to before. They don't know your situation. They don't know what you've bought, and you've got to explain that to them. Where what we do is you have more individual one-on-one support with us that you would not get with other custodians.
Awesome. Thank you. One thing I'll say is, look, we don't want to do this, these live podcasts or webinar style lives. We don't want to do these just for, potential clients or whomever. We're doing this for our current clients as well. Look, if you guys have specific topics or questions you want us to go over while we do these lives, shoot us, comments on these videos and tell us like what you want us to talk about. Like Ben mentioned, we will in the future talk more about like how do we do, real estate? How do we invest in it? We also have a product called the IRA LLC. Sometimes it's called checkbook control or checkbook IRA, but there's those products too that like just add another layer of complexity and even, freedom, if you will, to a degree, or control for you. So we will be talking about things that pertain to, clients and anything that can benefit either our current clients or potential clients. So that's it for today's live. Thank you for commenting. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for watching. That's all we have for today. Again, be here in a month. I would say this, follow us, like us on, all the socials. If you follow us and have those notifications, you'll be able to see every time we go live. So make sure you have those ready to go, and we'll see you in the next one. Hey, Ben, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, thanks. Take care.